With that, I'm going to hand it over to Rohit to walk us through, based on everything you've heard so far today, how does this influence your design best practices?
Yeah, so as Tarul, as NJ and Craig, and you mentioned, this is a revolution. I think the AI becoming household name with ChatGPT has reached the inflection point where you can literally, I mean, everyone's using it for some purpose or the other. So it took a long time. AI has been around for a long time. I've been playing with AI since my engineering school days, way back when. But it has now become ubiquitous to the point where it's easily available, and one can log in and use it, especially, let's say, the large language models. And the applications are immense and very, very broad and across industry segments. But in the healthcare industry segment, as we all know, that there are obviously privacy concerns and patients' lives at stake, right? So when we design AI systems, we do have to keep in mind all the various aspects that we discussed on the call today, the ethical, the moral, the patient centric, all those angles have to be kept in mind while designing a solution. And I'll illustrate it by an example of a project that we are currently doing for one of our clients. And hopefully that will bring to life some of the design approaches. So we are working with this very innovative digital health company that NJ mentioned. I'd shared with her, is working on a building a care planning tool, so a care planning platform, and this will apply for especially for chronic diseases and patients with multiple disease conditions. So here the challenge was, how do you build a wall so that the large language model is not infringing on any private data of the patients. So there are now possibilities, especially with large tech companies, who will allow you to create these walls. So you can stay in the swim lane where you're building a large language model, which is custom, which is learning from the data that is your proprietary data, and it is staying in that, let's say, silo. So it's not getting externally released outside of that wall. And it is using basically the large language models to kind of use that data set, which is then proprietary. So these are some of the design conditions when we approach projects. Typically, you look for a what we call a POC, a proof of concept. And then as you build out the proof of concept and you kind of put it in front of the stakeholders, they can test it. And usually we've also found that even in this project, there is a clinician in the loop. So it's still, we need that human being in the loop where someone's looking at, let's say, the output of this large language model and making sure, before it goes into the next step, that someone, certified, qualified, a nursing staff or a physician's kind of looked at it before it is being shared with the patient, and they're kind of like signing off on it.